Friends, fellow seekers of success, look around you. Every morning, a fire ignites within you, a vision of what could be, the architect of a future brimming with possibility. Yet, as the day surrenders to night, how often does that burning ember dwindle, suffocated beneath the weight of fatigue, the sting of regret? What if I told you the greatest adversary to your magnificent destiny isn't some monumental failure, some catastrophic event, but the seemingly insignificant choices you make day in and day out, often without a flicker of conscious awareness? There are habits, insidious in their silence, that are relentlessly pilfering your most precious commodity, time. They are the unseen leeches draining the very lifeblood of your focus, subtly eroding the bedrock of your potential from the inside out. These are the silent saboteurs of your growth, cleverly disguised in the mundane routines of your existence, hiding in plain sight. But mark my words, once you truly perceive them, once the veil is lifted from your eyes, you will never be able to feign ignorance again. And more importantly, once you possess the courage to sever their hold, your life will embark on a trajectory so profoundly different, so infinitely more rewarding, that you will scarcely recognize your former limitations. If you are weary of this cyclical existence, this monotonous replay of unfulfilled aspirations, know this: today, at this very moment, is where that cycle shatters. In the moments that follow, we shall unearth the clandestine habits that are silently dismantling your progress, and I shall illuminate the path to break free from their shackles, not temporarily, but for eternity. First, and with the utmost emphasis, quit the insidious habit of procrastination. You must engrave this truth upon the very fabric of your being. Procrastination is not a benign delay, a harmless postponement. It is a ruthless thief, stealthily robbing you of the very essence of your destiny. In those quiet moments when you consciously push aside the vital tasks, the pivotal actions that hold the key to your advancement, something deeply detrimental is transpiring. Your potential, that boundless reservoir of possibility within you, is being siphoned away, drop by precious drop, until the well runs dry. This isn't mere postponement. It is the systematic dismantling of your dreams, brick by agonizing brick. It breeds a corrosive companion: doubt. Doubt in your abilities, doubt in your worthiness, doubt in the very feasibility of your aspirations. Each deferred task amplifies this insidious voice, whispering negativity, eroding your self-belief, and ultimately paralyzing your will to act. Procrastination is the fertile ground where fear takes root and blossoms into a paralyzing force, preventing you from seizing opportunities and transforming your visions into tangible realities. It is a self-inflicted wound that festers, delaying not just tasks, but the very arrival of your success. Understand this fundamental truth: the time to act is not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. The time is now. The present moment is the only currency you possess with which to purchase your future. Every moment squandered in procrastination is a step further away from the life you are destined to lead. Second, eradicate the debilitating habit of negative self-talk. The conversations you hold within the confines of your own mind are perhaps the most powerful forces shaping your reality. If that inner dialogue is a constant barrage of criticism, doubt, and self-deprecation, you are in essence programming yourself for failure. Your mind, a magnificent and fertile garden, will yield precisely the seeds you sow. Sow negativity, and you will reap a harvest of limitations, fear, and ultimately unfulfilled potential. This incessant internal critic acts as an invisible barrier, preventing you from taking risks, stifling your creativity, and dimming the brilliance of your inherent talents. It erodes your confidence, making even the smallest challenges seem insurmountable. You become your own worst enemy, a saboteur operating from within. But the power lies in your ability to choose the narrative. You can consciously decide to cultivate a garden of positive affirmations, of self-compassion, and unwavering belief in your capabilities. Replace those toxic seeds of doubt with potent affirmations of your strength, your resilience, and your inherent worthiness of success. Train your inner voice to be your greatest ally, your most enthusiastic supporter, constantly reminding you of your progress, celebrating your victories, and encouraging you to persevere through setbacks. This internal shift, this conscious reprogramming of your mental dialogue, is not mere positive thinking. It is the fundamental act of aligning your inner world with the success you seek in the external world. Third, Break free from the energy-draining habit of complaining. Complaining is a futile exercise in negativity, a self-imposed vortex that sucks the very vitality from your spirit and the productivity from your actions. It is a focus on what you lack, on what is wrong, on the obstacles that impede your path, rather than channeling that energy towards finding solutions and creating opportunities. Complaining achieves nothing. It solves no problems. It generates no progress. Instead, it fosters a victim mentality, a sense of powerlessness that cripples your ability to take effective action. It also creates a toxic environment around you, repelling positive influences and draining the energy of those within your sphere. The successful individual understands that challenges are inevitable, that obstacles are merely stepping stones on the path to achievement. Their energy is directed towards finding solutions, towards learning from setbacks, and towards maintaining a constructive and optimistic outlook, regardless of the circumstances. Cultivate the habit of gratitude. Focus on the abundance in your life, on the opportunities that surround you, and on the lessons to be learned from every experience, both positive and negative. Transform the energy you once spent complaining into proactive problem solving and purposeful action. This shift in focus will not only elevate your own spirit, but will also attract positive energy and support from those around you, propelling you further towards your goals. Fourth, quit the habit of making excuses. Excuses are the cleverly disguised justifications for inaction, the elaborate narratives we weave to shield ourselves from the discomfort of effort and the potential sting of failure. They are the self-imposed limitations that prevent us from stepping outside our comfort zones and embracing the challenges that are essential for growth. Every excuse you offer is a brick in the wall that separates you from your potential. It is an abdication of responsibility, a denial of your own agency in shaping your destiny. The successful individual understands that circumstances are rarely perfect, that obstacles will inevitably arise. However, they refuse to allow these challenges to become crutches for inaction. They take ownership of their lives. They embrace responsibility for their outcomes, and they view setbacks not as reasons to quit, but as valuable learning experiences. Cultivate the habit of accountability. When faced with a challenge, instead of seeking a reason why you cannot, focus your energy on finding a way that you can. Embrace the mindset that you are the master of your own destiny, that you have the power to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals, regardless of the circumstances. This unwavering sense of responsibility is the cornerstone of self-reliance and the catalyst for extraordinary achievement. Fifth, eradicate the habit of comparing yourself to others. The relentless act of comparing your journey, your achievements, and your possessions to those of others is a recipe for dissatisfaction and a potent inhibitor of your own progress. Each individual walks a unique path, faces a unique set of circumstances, and possesses a unique set of talents and aspirations. To measure your worth and your progress against an external yardstick is not only illogical, but also deeply detrimental to your self-esteem and your motivation. It breeds envy, resentment, and a constant feeling of inadequacy, preventing you from recognizing and appreciating your own unique strengths and accomplishments. The successful individual understands that their journey is their own race, not a competition against others. Their focus is internal, centered on their own growth, their own progress, and the continuous improvement of their own capabilities. Celebrate your own milestones, acknowledge your own victories, and focus your energy on becoming the best version of yourself, rather than striving to be a carbon copy of someone else. Embrace your individuality, recognize the unique talents and perspectives you bring to the world, and allow your own authentic journey to unfold, unburdened by the shadow of comparison. Sixth, break free from the habit of seeking instant gratification. In a world saturated with immediate rewards and instant access, the cultivation of patience and the ability to delay gratification have become increasingly rare, yet they remain fundamental to achieving any significant and lasting success. The pursuit of instant gratification often leads to impulsive decisions, a lack of foresight, and the abandonment of long-term goals in favor of fleeting pleasures. True success, the kind that brings lasting fulfillment and genuine satisfaction, is rarely achieved overnight. It requires sustained effort, unwavering dedication, and the willingness to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. The successful individual understands the power of compounding, the principle that consistent disciplined effort over time yields exponential results. They are willing to forego immediate pleasures in pursuit of a greater vision, knowing that the rewards of perseverance far outweigh the fleeting satisfaction of instant gratification. Cultivate the habit of long-term thinking. Set ambitious goals, develop a clear plan of action, and remain steadfast in your commitment, even when the path ahead seems long and arduous. Embrace the understanding that true fulfillment comes not from instant rewards, but from the profound satisfaction of achieving meaningful goals through sustained effort and unwavering dedication. Seventh, quit the habit of neglecting your physical and mental well-being. Your mind and body are your most invaluable assets, the instruments through which you experience the world and achieve your goals. Neglecting their care is akin to sabotaging your own success. Chronic fatigue, poor nutrition, lack of exercise, and unmanaged stress erode your energy levels, impair your cognitive function, and diminish your overall resilience. The successful individual understands that optimal performance requires a holistic approach, recognizing the vital connection between physical and mental well-being. They prioritize regular exercise to invigorate their bodies and sharpen their minds. They nourish themselves with wholesome foods to fuel their energy and enhance their focus. They prioritize adequate rest to allow for rejuvenation and optimal cognitive function. They cultivate practices that manage stress and promote mental clarity, such as mindfulness, meditation, or spending time in nature. Make a conscious commitment to prioritize your physical and mental health. Invest in activities that nourish your body, calm your mind, and replenish your spirit. This proactive approach to self-care is not a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement for sustained success and overall well-being. Eighth, eradicate the habit of resisting change. The only constant in life is change itself. To resist it is to cling to a static and ultimately limiting existence in a dynamic and ever-evolving world. Fear of the unknown, attachment to the familiar, and a rigid mindset can paralyze your ability to adapt to new circumstances, seize emerging opportunities, and navigate the inevitable challenges that change brings. The successful individual embraces change as an inherent part of growth and progress. They cultivate a flexible mindset, a willingness to learn and adapt, and an openness to new ideas and perspective. They understand that stagnation leads to decline, while embracing change opens doors to innovation, new possibilities, and ultimately greater success. Cultivate a spirit of curiosity and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. View challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for learning and growth. Embrace the understanding that adaptability is not merely a survival skill, it is a catalyst for evolution and a key ingredient in mastering your future. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, quit the habit of living without a definite purpose. To drift through life without a clear sense of direction, without a compelling vision of what you want to achieve, is like setting sail without a compass or a destination in mind. You may expend considerable energy, but you will likely end up far from where you intended to be, tossed about by the currents of circumstance. A definite purpose acts as your guiding star, providing clarity, focus, and unwavering motivation. It is the driving force that propels you forward, even in the face of obstacles and setbacks. It imbues your actions with meaning and transforms your efforts into a purposeful journey. Take the time for introspection, for deep contemplation, to identify your core values, your passions, and your ultimate aspirations. Define your definite purpose with clarity and conviction, and then align your daily actions with this overarching vision. This sense of purpose will not only fuel your motivation, but will also attract opportunities and resources that align with your goals, propelling you towards the mastery of your future and a life filled with profound meaning and lasting fulfillment. My friends, the power to break free from these silent destroyers lies within each and every one of you. Recognize them, confront them, and consciously choose to cultivate habits that empower and uplift you. The journey to mastering your future begins with these fundamental choices, these conscious decisions to take control of your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. Embrace this power and watch as your potential, once buried beneath the weight of unconscious habits, blossoms into the extraordinary success you are truly capable of achieving. The time for transformation is now. Seize it and never look back. Friends, let us now turn our attention to the second silent thief, the insidious habit of negative self-talk. The arena of your own mind is a battleground, and the victor of that internal conflict dictates the trajectory of your external reality. If your inner voice is a relentless chorus of criticism, doubt, and self-recrimination, you are in essence shackling your own potential before you even take a single step. This internal saboteur whispers insidious lies, eroding your confidence, stifling your creativity, and painting every opportunity with the brushstrokes of fear and inadequacy. It is a self-inflicted paralysis, a mental prison built brick by agonizing brick with the mortar of your own negative affirmations. Consider the magnificent power of the human mind, a boundless reservoir of ingenuity and potential. Yet, how often do we squander this incredible gift by allowing it to become a breeding ground for self-doubt and limiting beliefs? Each negative thought, each self-deprecating remark, acts as a corrosive, slowly dissolving the very foundations of your self-belief. It is akin to a skilled craftsman, deliberately dulling his most valuable tools, rendering them incapable of producing their finest work. But here lies the profound truth: you are the master of your own mind. You possess the inherent power to choose the narrative that plays within its walls. You can consciously decide to evict the tyrannical voices of doubt and replace them with a symphony of self-affirmation, of unwavering belief in your capabilities, and of unshakable confidence in your inherent worthiness of success. Train your inner voice to be your most loyal ally, your most enthusiastic supporter, constantly remind you of your strengths, celebrating your progress, and encouraging you to persevere through the inevitable setbacks that life presents. This internal transformation, this conscious reprogramming of your mental dialogue, is not mere positive thinking, a superficial glossing over of challenges. It is a fundamental act of aligning your inner world with the success you seek in the external world. It is about cultivating an unshakable inner resilience, a core of self-belief that remains steadfast even in the face of adversity. By nurturing a positive and empowering inner dialogue, you dismantle the invisible barriers that have been holding you, unleash the boundless potential that resides within you, and you pave the way for a future brimming with achievement and fulfillment. Remember, the conversations you have with yourself are the most important conversations of your life. Choose them wisely, nurture them diligently, and allow them to become the powerful force that propels you towards the realization of your greatest aspirations. Third, let us confront the energy-draining quagmire that is the habit of complaining. This futile exercise in negativity is akin to pouring precious fuel onto a fire that serves no purpose but to consume your vitality and stifle your complaining is a relentless focus on what is lacking, on the perceived injustices, on the obstacles that loom on your path, rather than channeling that very same energy towards the fertile ground of solutions and the blossoming of opportunities. Consider the successful individuals you admire. Do you envision them mired in endless lamentations, consumed by the perceived unfairness of their circumstances? No, their energy is a dynamic force, consistently directed towards towards identifying pathways through challenges, and towards maintaining an unwavering optimism that transcends the inevitable storms of life. Complaining achieves nothing of value. It solves no problems, it generates no progress, and it offers no tangible benefit. Instead, it cultivates a corrosive victim mentality, a debilitating sense of powerlessness that cripples your ability to take effective action and shape your own destiny. Furthermore, it creates a toxic atmosphere around you, repelling positive influences and draining the very life force from those within your sphere. The antidote to this debilitating habit is the conscious cultivation of gratitude. Shift your focus from the barren landscape of what you lack to the abundant harvest of what you possess. Acknowledge the opportunities that surround you. Recognize the lessons embedded within every experience, both the triumphs and the setbacks. Transform the energy you once squandered on lamentations into proactive problem solving, into purposeful action, into the unwavering pursuit of solutions. This fundamental shift in focus will not only elevate your own spirit, filling it with renewed vigor and optimism, but it will also act as a powerful magnet, attracting positive energy, supportive individuals, and unforeseen opportunities into your life. By consciously choosing gratitude over grievance, you unlock a powerful force that propels you further along the path towards your goals, transforming obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into invaluable lessons. Remember, your energy is a precious resource. Invest it wisely in constructive action, not in the barren field of complaint. Fourth, We must address the self-imposed limitations that arise from the habit of making excuses. Excuses are the artful dodges, the cleverly constructed justifications we employ to shield ourselves from the discomfort of effort, the potential sting of failure, and the conscious effect of stepping outside the familiar confines of our comfort zones. They are the stories we tell ourselves, and often others, to rationalize and to avoid taking full responsibility for our lives and our outcomes. Each excuse you offer, regardless of its perceived validity, acts as another brick in the wall that separates you from the realization of your full potential. It is a subtle abdication of your own agency, a tacit denial of your inherent power to shape your own destiny. It allows you to remain in a state of comfortable stagnation, shielded from the challenges that are absolutely essential for meaningful growth and significant achievement. The truly successful individual understands that the tapestry of life is rarely woven with perfect threads. Obstacles will inevitably arise, setbacks will occur, and circumstances will often fall short of ideal. However, they resolutely refuse to allow these challenges to become convenient crutches for inaction. They embrace a radical sense of ownership over their lives, accepting full responsibility for their successes and their failures alike. They view setbacks not as insurmountable barriers or reasons to abandon their aspirations, but as invaluable learning experiences, opportunities for growth, and essential feedback on their journey. Cultivate the unwavering habit of accountability. When confronted with a challenge, resist the temptation to seek a justification for why you cannot overcome it. Instead, direct your mental energy towards identifying a pathway, however unconventional or demanding, through which you can embrace the empowering mindset that you are the architect of your own destiny, that you possess the inherent resilience and resourcefulness to navigate any obstacle and achieve your goals, regardless of the prevailing circumstances. This profound sense of personal responsibility is the bedrock of self-reliance, the catalyst for extraordinary achievement, and the ultimate key to mentoring your future. Fifth, let us confront the insidious habit of comparing yourself to others, a relentless and often subconscious activity that can silently erode your self and derail your progress. In an increasingly interconnected world, where the curated highlights of others' lives are constantly on display, the temptation to measure your own journey, your achievements, and your possessions against an external yardstick can be over. However, succumbing to this temptation is not but also profoundly detrimental to your inner peace and your personal growth. Each individual walks a unique path, shaped by a distinct set of circumstances, challenges, and opportunities. You possess a unique constellation of talents, aspirations, and experiences that are entirely your own. To attempt to measure your worth and your against the seemingly polished exterior of another's life is to engage in a fundamentally flawed and ultimately self-defeating exercise. It breeds the corrosive emotions of envy and resentment, fostering a persistent feeling of inadequacy that prevents you from recognizing and appreciating the inherent value of your own unique strengths and accomplishments. The truly successful individual understands that their journey is a solitary race against their own potential, not a competitive sprint against the perceived achievements of others. Their focus is resolutely internal, centered on their own continuous growth, the steady improvement of their own capabilities, and the consistent pursuit of their own unique aspirations. Celebrate your own milestones, no matter how small they may seem in comparison to others. Acknowledge your own victories, learn from your own setbacks, and consistently focus your energy on becoming the best version of you, rather than striving to be a mere imitation of someone else. Embrace the beauty and power of your individuality. Recognize the unique talent and perspectives you bring to the world, and allow your own authentic journey to unfold, unburdened by the stifling shadow of comparison. Your path is yours alone to walk, and its unique contours hold the key to your own distinct and fulfilling success. Sixth, we must address the alluring yet ultimately detrimental habit of seeking instant gratification. In a world increasingly geared towards immediate rewards and instant access, the cultivation of patience and the ability to delay gratification have become increasingly rare commodities. Yet these very qualities remain absolutely fundamental to achieving any significant and lasting success in any endeavor. The relentless pursuit of instant gratification often leads to impulsive decisions, a short-sighted focus on immediate pleasure at the expense of long-term goals, and the premature abandonment of challenging but ultimately rewarding pursuits. True success, the kind that yields lasting fulfillment and genuine satisfaction, is rarely achieved with the speed of a fleeting digital interaction. It demands sustained effort, unwavering dedication, and the conscious willingness to make short-term sacrifices for the sake of achieving more significant and enduring rewards in the future. The truly successful individual understands the profound power of compounding, the principle that consistent, disciplined effort applied over time yields exponential and often surprising results. They are willing to forego the immediate allure of fleeting pleasures in steadfast pursuit of a grander vision, knowing that the ultimate rewards of perseverance far outweigh the temporary satisfaction of instant gratification. Cultivate the empowering habit of long-term thinking. Set ambitious yet achievable goals. Develop a clear and strategic plan of action, and remain steadfast in your commitment, even when the path ahead appears long and arduous and the immediate rewards seem distant. Embrace the profound understanding that true fulfillment arises not from hitting high instant rewards, but from the deep and abiding satisfaction of achieving meaningful goals through sustained effort, unwavering dedication, and the patient understanding that significant achievements require time and perseverance. Seventh, let us confront the often overlooked, yet absolutely critical habit, neglecting your physical and mental well-being. Your mind and body are not separate entities. They are inextricably linked, forming the very instruments through which you experience the world, pursue your aspirations, and ultimately achieve your goal. To neglect their care is akin to deliberately sabotaging your own potential for success and fulfillment. Chronic fatigue, the consequence of insufficient rest, impaired cognitive function, the result of poor nutrition, diminished energy levels, stemming from a lack of physical activity, and the pervasive impact of unmanaged stress, all conspire to erode your resilience, cloud your judgment, and ultimately hinder your progress on the path to your dreams. The truly successful individual understands that optimal performance in any area of life demands a holistic approach, recognizing the vital and inseparable connection between physical and mental well-being. They prioritize regular physical exercise, not merely for its aesthetic benefits, but for its profound ability to invigorate the body, sharpen the mind, and elevate overall energy level. They nourish their bodies with wholesome and nutritious foods, providing the essential fuel for sustained energy and enhanced cognitive function. They prioritize effort and restorative rest, recognizing its crucial role in physical and mental rejuvenation and optimal cognitive performance. Furthermore, they actively cultivate practices that effectively manage stress and promote mental clarity, such as mindfulness, meditation, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies that bring joy and relax. Make a conscious and unwavering commitment to prioritize physical and mental health. Invest time and energy in activities that nourish your body, calm your mind, and replenish your spirit. This proactive approach to self-care is not a luxury to be indulged in when time permits. It is a fundamental requirement for sustained success, enduring happiness, and overall well-being. Treat your mind and body as the invaluable assets they truly are, and they will serve your path. Eighth, we must address the often uncomfortable but ultimately liberating habit of resisting change. In the grand tapestry of existence, the only true constant is the inevitability of change itself. To stubbornly resist this fundamental principle is to cling to a static and ultimately limiting existence in a world that is in a perpetual state of dynamic evolution. The fear of the unknown, the comforting embrace of the familiar, and a rigid adherence to established routines can paralyze your ability to adapt to new circumstances, seize emerging opportunities, and effectively navigate the inevitable challenge that change invariably brings. Finally, and with the utmost emphasis, we arrive at the cornerstone of all lasting achievement, the habit of living without a definite purpose. To navigate complexities of life without a clear and compelling sense of direction, without a well-defined vision of what you aspire to achieve, is akin to setting sail on a vast and unpredictable ocean. Without a compass, without a map, and without a discernible destination in mind, you may expend considerable energy. You may encounter fleeting moments of progress, but you will ultimately be tossed about by the capricious currents of circumstance, likely ending up far from the shores of your intended destination.